Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, beef. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I can't eat a patty.
He won style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
it's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro. Like,
yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
For bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I am your host, Bodkins, of course. Man, it is our NFL Week 7 reaction show. What a Week 7. In a day that, for me and a lot of my league mates, will go down as in the day of the worst fantasy day in history. Man, like... And a lot of injuries today. Deshaun Watson, Brandon Ayuk. If you missed that news, tore his ACL. He is done. But back to the fantasy, I had three guys who combined for 4 points, and it was like Williams, Christian Watson, Deontay Johnson. Debo obviously didn't do much today. Brandon Ayuk probably didn't do much, today. Jaden Daniels gets banged up. He didn't do shit today, obviously. So, this was just like an absolute shit day for most fantasy owners, I feel like. But, man, and then you get to the, what the part that matters. My Green Bay Packers win an absolute close game with the Texans. Win by 3. We'll get into that game. We'll obviously get into the rematch of the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, has not looked good, and hopefully Johnny will be joining us here a little bit later. But they're undefeated. They're the only undefeated team, and they're not lighting the world up on fire, but they're finding good teams find ways to win, folks. That's what you can say about the Chiefs. Good teams find ways to win. Like, Mahomes is not putting up, MVP caliber numbers, but yet they find ways to win. That's good coaching. Good coaching, he's not even playing good quarterback play. That's the thing. But good coaching for sure for the Chiefs. And Mahomes is a good quarterback. He's just having a down year right now. Not a lot of weapons. That defense is really good. So we'll hop in. We'll hop into the recap. Mr. Cruz will hopefully be joining us, and he'll just jump in where we jump in. Started this game this morning in England and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So when we did the morning this morning, it was 10-0 when we got off the air, and I went and did some stuff, and I turned that game back on and caught it, and was like 20-10. It absolutely got over in a hurry. There's my guy. He's probably crying because, he was celebrating all morning about the Canes and Yankees, but then he had to sit down and watch the golf today. And at least they're getting Tua back next week.
Yeah, bro, at this point, that don't mean shit, to be quite honest. But no, I was smart enough to go ahead and watch Red Zone instead of watching the game. And even that was too much, to the point where it was just like it ruined my afternoon, to be quite honest. I'm dead serious. Like I had to, I had to medicate myself, prescription by a doctor. I had to medicate myself to get over that, because I was like it hurt, how inept that offense is. And I was so excited about this quarterback. This offensive genius, and he's still making the same mistakes he did from his first season. And Like just some of the
He's
decisions he's making is horrible, and
sometimes he's not even a good play caller anymore right now.
No, bro. And the thing is that before you know what I'm saying, before we went into the game, you know, and talking to the guys from the Dolphin Chronicles and stuff, like I was like, well, is he just like a really good play designer, or is he actually a good play caller and offensive genius? I don't even know. I mean, he's a good play designer, but he has no idea how to call a game in game at all. He doesn't know how to make adjustments.
Yeah. He's not paying attention to the game.
No.
I listened to Mike Lombardi, and he says that a lot about a lot of coaches and play callers. He's like, they're not paying attention to what is going on in game-to-game situations.
Yeah.
What they're not reading the game. They're just calling plays to be calling plays like it's fucking Madden, and not call like managing the game, like making the correct call at the right time.
Right. Yeah. There was just so many examples of that. His situational awareness of what's going on during the game is horrible.
He's not watching the game.
And I was one that I was defending him to where, no, you know what I'm saying? Because he does have his times where he knows, or at least when he has two and everybody on the field, he knows, okay, this one against this defense is going to hit right now. You know what I'm saying? So like he'll have times and moments that way where he'll do that, but just a drive by drive knowledge of how I should attack this defense right now, he has no clue, bro. We had the short yardage issue all of last season where 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s we were horrible to the point where we never ran the ball. And now it seems like the only play that we have for 3rd and 1 is a freaking fullback dive. You know what I'm saying? And we got away with it the first week or two, but ever since then, it's been stopped because that's all we've been showing that we can do on 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
And a crucial time he does it, we get stopped. You know what I'm saying? And then he decides, we get a nice, he finally brings in Tim Boyle because Huntley got hurt, which I was banging for Tim Boyle because he could at least make a reasonable throw here or there. Tyler Huntley just seems like he can't even hit an easy slant.
That's Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's easy to make a Pro Bowl when you have a Pro Bowl squad around you and Super Bowl winning coaching as well. You know what I'm saying? But he hits Jonnu Smith over the middle. It's 1st and 10 in the red zone. And then instead of just continuing to run the ball, he runs the ball with the fullback and he fumbles it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what are you doing? Like, why is he running the ball? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like some of his decisions, man. Like I was pro Mike McDaniel. I didn't want him to have to give away the play calling, but I think it's reached that point where, bro, just be the head coach. Let Frank Smith or somebody else actually call the plays and figure out, because even the game plans, bro, like I don't understand how you have 2 weeks to prepare for the Indianapolis Colts. They have one of the worst rush defenses in the league. You have a quarterback who's mobile, and I didn't see one bootleg. I didn't see anything like that at all to show his ability to run the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was a 3rd and goal, a 3rd and 4 from like the 8-yard line, and he spreads them all out 4 or 5 wide. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. He's going to run a quarterback draw here or something, use his legs, get these 4 yards. No, he has him throw a slant that he's already missed twice on earlier in the game. And of course, it gets broken up, and then you got to kick a field goal. So it's just like shit like that is just disheartening. And yeah, the Dolphins completely ruined my sports weekend. So now I gotta hope I gotta hope the Liberty find a way to win this game tonight and bring a championship to New York, because the Dolphins are beyond depressing, bro.
Yeah, we'll get more into that game. The game I was talking about is
this craziness here? Yeah.
Yes, like we literally got off the air and it was 10-0.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I went and did some stuff, and then next thing I know, it's 20-10. They're in a hurry.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like, I'll say this though, and I've just watched a little bit of the highlights and things like that of that game. Like Drake May is going to be a dude. I feel like he just not a lot of help right now.
No, I'm with you on that one. I'm a fan of Drake May. I said it on the morning dump that he showed that he can play, he can make the throws.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be hard for them this season, but you put some pieces around him, and you might have something there, which again is disheartening as a Dolphin fan because that already, you know what I'm saying, feels like New England's already a step ahead of us, which is freaking pathetic again. Sorry, not to make this. I got to get this shit out of my system, bro. But no, I'm with you, bro. Like it was 10-0 when we got off the show this morning.
Yeah.
I went to do a couple things or whatever, and then just happened to check the score, and all of a sudden it was 22-10, and I was like,
22 unanswered points by the. Well, actually, I take that back. 25 unanswered points by Jacksonville.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? I was like, well, maybe they finally found themselves or whatever. So at least Doug Peterson gets to keep his job for another week.
Who have
that too, because that's one of our only 2 wins that the Dolphins have is against the Patriots. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, Drake May though, nice game, 26-37, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson 17 for 18 yards. Hunter Henry had 8 for 92. I was trying to see here because they said Jalen Polk was going through it but it's not giving me the drops. I guess he had just a bunch of drops by Polk.
Yeah. So he had a horrible day.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, not a great, I still can't get, it's an enigma to me how he's not that good. 15-20, 193 yards, 1 touchdown.
But look at those stats. Yeah, look at those stats, right?
Yeah. Tank Bigsby, 26 carries, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. They might as well just give him the ball and not ETN. He seems to be the guy. Brian Thomas Jr. is a guy, I feel like he's a guy I think could be, outside the quarterbacks, the best offensive rookie. 5 receptions for 89 yards and a touchdown. So,
not to tap myself on the back, but that's who I wanted Miami to draft.
Yeah.
But instead they went with signing Odell Beckham and drafted an edge rusher who can't tackle. so that's always good. He's always close. He has one of the higher pressure rates, but he can't finish. And he had opportunities to have tackles for loss and couldn't make the tackles. So that's always fun.
Other than what we kind of talked about, Jacksonville finally gets their second win. Might have saved Doug Peterson's job. Other than any other takeaways from Jacksonville and game?
No, I think you hit it on the head. You know what I'm saying? I made the comment that maybe they found something. It looks like they might have found something with the running back. Bigsby's a good kid, a good player. Ran the ball hard, carried the load today. You mentioned ETN. I think he was hurt or something like that or whatever. Bigsby is a bigger back. So that's a good 1-2 combo there. And like you said, the Thomas kid looks like he's going to be a player. So they got themselves their long-term wide receiver there. So we'll see what happens. But they were playing the Patriots, like you mentioned. So we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, we get into Lions, Vikings. We said this was going to be a good game, and it was. Vikings, Lions jumped out pretty big. Or the Vikings, I'm sorry, were up 10-0. Then it was 28 points unanswered by the Lions there. And Vikings scored 12 in the fourth to kind of make it a game, 31-29. Vikings' first loss of the season. Jared Goff was hot in the first half. They rushed him. I saw a stat. They rushed him a bunch, and he absolutely killed him every time they were rushing him. 22-25, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries for 116 and 2 touchdowns. Amon St. Brown, 8 for 112 and a touchdown. Could have gave the ball to Jameson Williams. Jesus, I needed the fantasy points, but nonetheless. Sam Darnold, 22-27, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Aaron Jones, 14 for 93 and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 7 for 81 and a touchdown. But Vikings lose, Lions win, and are in first place in the NFC North. And what could be the best division in football.
Yeah, that was a that was actually a fun game. Jared Goff at one point was 19 for 20.
Yeah.
So he's having a
He
nice
was hot.
stretch. Yeah, he was hot. Jahmyr Gibbs, like you mentioned, was breaking ankles, catching the ball out of the backfield. Like he's turning into that stud that they that's the reason why they drafted him so high. You team him up with Montgomery. That's a nice duo they got back there. And Amon he's just that dude, bro. Like he always seems to be open. He always makes the clutch catches. He's a really good player. That Detroit team is definitely for real, man. And shout out to Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? He played well. You know what I'm saying? They made it interesting. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, Detroit was able to cover. so that was one of my few wins for this week. But Minnesota definitely made it interesting there at the end. But that whole NFC North, man, is quite a division, bro.
To me, the Lions are the best team in the NFC right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm a Packers fan, and you know what I mean. Like, but the Lions
but
to me,
being real, you keeping it real.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? They got one of the best offensive lines. I know Hutch just got hurt, but still that defense is well coached. They got good players on all three levels. And they got a quarterback who's playing well. They got all the skill positions you need. Detroit's legit, bro.
Yeah, and it's they need to play in warm weather. He struggles in cold weather, so it's like important that they can play in that dome in Detroit to get home field advantage.
Yeah,
they're not having to go to like Green Bay or someplace like that in January, February. But man, they're so good, and Dan Campbell, like for everything that he is like he's. I think the best thing about Dan Campbell is like he is football, and he doesn't try to do anything other than just like coach up his team. And he's hired good coordinators around him to, you know what I mean? And he sticks by his guys. He's a little bit of a gambler, is gonna go for it on fourth down, but believes in his team, and he lives and dies by it. You know what I mean? Lives and dies by the sword. So
I think he's exactly what a head coach is supposed to be. I think we need to change the scroll at the bottom, bro. But I think he's exactly what you need in the leader of a football team. As far as like you said, he's got really good coordinators. He lets them do their job. You know what I'm saying? He's a good motivator. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he was a former player helps, I think, out too. You know what I'm saying? So he knows how to relate to his players well. He just exudes, you know what I'm saying? He gives them the confidence to go out there and just be themselves and do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's exactly what you need in a head coach is a leader of men, a motivator, and then again, surround yourself with good coaches and trust them to do their jobs. And he's all about being the more physical team. Trying to dominate the other squad, and that's what football is all about. When it comes down to it, it's about being able to dominate the person across from you. And
what's your identity? You know what I mean? Like that's right. Good teams know their identity. Yep. Bad teams are still searching for an identity. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
totally agree.
They have an identity. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're gonna play physical football. We're gonna, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna,
we're gonna punch you in the mouth. We're gonna bite your kneecaps. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go after you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go at you.
They have an identity. Other teams, like I said, bad teams don't. Speaking of bad teams, it's the Tennessee Titans. They did jump up 10-0 in this game, and then it was 34 unanswered points by the Bills. Titans fall to 1-5. Bills get to 5-2. Mason Rudolph. Maybe it's not the quarterback. Maybe it's just the team. A little bit better than Will Levis, 25 of 40, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tony Pollard had 16 for 61. Calvin Ridley, who's been complaining about his targets and receptions last week, did have 42. D-Hop had 1 reception for -2 yards. We get into the Bills.
Real quick on to touch on Calvin Ridley, you know what I'm saying? You chose to go to Tennessee, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're going to complain about targets and catches. You decided to go play with, you know what I'm saying, a team that had a quarterback going into his second year. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Josh Allen, 21 of 33 to 323 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ray Davis,
Mhm.
5 for 41 and a touchdown. James Cook, 12 for 32 and a touchdown. Amari Cooper, welcome to the Bills, 4 for 66 and a touchdown.
Mhm.
Sometimes when a rookie especially can get, learn from a vet and he's not taking their best corner, can pop off. And that was Keon Coleman, 4
Absolutely.
reception, 125 yards today. So nice game here for the Bills. And in a game you're expected to win, and they handled business. They started off slow, but they got it rolling.
Yeah, they started off slow, like you said. You mentioned Tennessee going up 10-0. Tony Pollard kind of went down early on in that game, and I think that kind of didn't help the offense out though. But they had nothing once Buffalo got rolling on offense. They had nothing to slow them down at all. So this shit right here.
Yeah, we've kind of already covered this game, but we'll go over the stats. Johnny already laid out all the things. The Dolphins. But Tim Boyle, 8 for 13, 74 yards. Tyler Huntley, 7 for 13. Devon Achane, 15 for 77. Raheem Mostert, 11 for 50, but he had 2 fumbles in this game that were crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Jonnu Smith, 7 of 96 and a touchdown. Only 1 reception for Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill, 1 reception for 8 yards. So,
and just to put some more context on that, Jalen Waddle's first catch was with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Actually, the fourth quarter. And Tyreek Hill's only catch was in the 2-minute drill when they were down 6 and trying to go down the field with Tim Boyle to score. That is absolutely pathetic that your 2 superstar wide receivers get 2 catches total, and both of them are with 6 minutes left to go in the damn game. When again, coming off of a bye, that is beyond disgusting, embarrassing, and definitely turd worthy.
Anthony Richardson, 10 for 24, 129 yards, 14 carries for 56. Tyler Goodson, 14 for 51 in a touchdown as JT sat out another game. Michael Pittman Jr., 3 for 63. But Colts get to 4-3. They're above 500. Dolphins fall to 2-4. And,
if you go back to the player stats real quick, I just want to point out one thing real quick on the Dolphin one.
Yeah.
Just real quick. If you scroll down to the running backs, Jalen Wright, up a little more. Jalen Wright, the running backs, the rushing yards.
Oh, that's receiving. My bad.
You good. Right. Jalen Wright is the running back that we traded a 3rd-round pick to move up to get him, and he gets 5 freaking carries, and look at his average, 6.6 yards. Like, that's why this morning when the guy asked about, hey, who do I start, Raheem Mostert or Devon Achane, and I said probably Mostert because, that's McDaniel's guy. Well, sometimes you can be loyal to a freaking fault. You know what I'm saying? Devon Achane is running the ball well. He's doing good. This rookie who, for whatever reason, they don't want to give him the ball, even though you moved up in the draft to get him.
Achane last year.
You moved up in the draft to get this kid. He's showing you that he can run, and you refuse to give him the ball. You rather give the ball to Alec Ingold, your fullback, who fumbled, and Raheem Mostert, who fumbled twice. So it's just, oh my God, it's infuriating, bro. I digress, man. I'm sorry. We're done with that game, so now it'll be a lot more uppity as far as my content. So apologies for the depressingness up to this point, but the Dolphins are hot garbage right now.
We get into Seahawks snap their 3-game losing streak. And the Falcons, their 3-game winning streak snapped in this one. It's the Seahawks, 34-14. Geno Smith, 18 of 28, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, 14 for 69 and a touchdown. He had the flu in this game. DK Metcalf, 4 for 99 and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett had 4 for 45. Jackson Smith had only 3 for 9. Did throw a pass in this one. And then you get to the Falcons here. Kirk Cousins, 2 interceptions, 232 and a touchdown. Bijan Robinson had a nice game, 21 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown in the loss. Kyle Pitts had 7 for 65. Drake London, 6 for 63. Early in this game, I kind of watched, caught the highlight. It was an interception, went right through London's hands. and that was really wasn't on Kirk Cousins. That's on London. But your thoughts on Seahawks? I kind of said that I smell a little upset in this one. This morning.
Yeah, I was totally off on that one. I was riding Atlanta with that 3-game winning streak, like you mentioned. Seattle hadn't been playing well, and you're in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But Atlanta's offensive line had no answer for that defensive line of Seattle. They were just coming after Kirk. You know what I'm saying? So props to Seattle, props to Geno Smith. Kenneth Walker, you mentioned he had the flu, but yeah, he still ran for 100. And that catch that he made for the touchdown was a beautiful catch over the shoulder. Great performance from Seattle. I definitely had that one wrong because I thought Atlanta would hold it down at home.
We'll get into the next game. It's my Packers, the Texans. I said we were all in agreement this game was going to be good. Really, the score is a little misleading. McManus kicks a game winner. He was just signed to the score 7 days on the Packers, like 7 days ago, like this week. And he kicks the game winner. But here's why I say it's misleading. Like, number one, the Packers defense shut down the Texans offense. Yep. And CJ Stroud only had 86 yards passing. Their offensive line was very shitty. The Packers turned this ball over 3 times, and the Texans got 19 points out of it. So like that's where the problems was. 2 interceptions and kind of a muffed punt. Really wasn't even muffed. It was one of them deals where the dude gets blocked into the ball and they get it. But that's where all the Texans points had come from, other than they did get a late field goal, and then the Packers went down and drove down and scored, kicked the game-winning field goal to win it. But it was a good game, but I was just like, man, the Texans' offensive line is not very good. Our defense, the Packers' defense, did really well. They got to stop every time. And the Packers' offense just couldn't get – it was like when we were down and we needed it, we could get it. But when we were up,
you were shooting yourselves in the foot and stuff.
Yeah, when we were up in the game, though, and you're like, oh, we needed some points here to kind of spread the lead out, we just couldn't ever do anything. In fact, they said on the telecast, so we had like 5 drives where we were up and we didn't score. And then there was 5 drives where we were down. We got all our points. So it was just like, well, shit, can we just play that way the whole way?
Yeah. I got to watch quite a bit of this game on the Red Zone. It was showing a lot of it. And yeah, your defense was all over CJ Stroud, you know what I'm saying, all game. Like you mentioned, 86 yards passing. Joe Mixon did go off a little bit on you guys, but for the most part, it was, I mean, and it sucks because you guys didn't cover now, because that goes down as a loss. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you don't care about that part, but it's a good win. Good teams find a way to win games even when they're not playing at their best. And you guys did play well, although you did turn the ball over. But you know what I'm saying, your quarterback looks like he's healthy. You know what I'm saying? He's again a couple turnovers or whatever today, but you got some good players on that team, and it was a big win for you guys to stay, you know what I'm saying, to stay close to Detroit.
Yeah. It was
and there could be an argument made for you guys being the second best team in the NFC, bro. To be quite honest, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for all you Dolphin fans that gave me so much shit when I wanted to take a guard in that draft and then take Jordan Love at number 18, and no Jordan Love. Well, yeah, look at us now.
The problem is in that scenario, you probably don't make them sit for 3 years and learn.
But that actually was Brian Flores' plan. Was to keep Fitzpatrick for another season. And then have them sit for a whole.
Tua, and then everybody.
Yeah, but the owners forced them to play Tua. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying, had they drafted Jordan Love, had they listened to the coach, you know what I'm saying, I mean, it is what it is. I'm just venting because I would like Jordan Love and I wanted Jordan Love, and instead I got a quarterback that every time he gets breathed on, I'm gonna be panicked because I'm not gonna know if he's gonna get up. So, and Jordan Love is gonna be a dude, bro. Like he's showing all. He's got the arms there. He can make every throw. He can make off-platform plays. He's got legs. He's gonna be a good one for a while, man. You guys freaking struck gold 3 times in a row. That's some shit, bro.
Yeah, he reminds me of. He's got more Favre in him than Rodgers.
Yes, definitely.
He tries to fit that ball into some real tight windows, and it's going to cost him a few times. But man, then he makes some fucking throws where you're just
you're just like, holy fuck.
That's what I'm saying. To me, in him than Rodgers. But Joe Mixon did go off on us 25 for 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, we just absolutely shut down the passing game for them. It was a lot to rush into the secondary. Jair Alexander was talking shit all game. He was talking shit before the game. He was talking shit during the game. He was chirping at everybody. Our friend Carlos texted me during the game, and he said, "Man, number 23 is chirping." Like I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Jair Alexander." I said, "He gonna do that all game."
Yeah, that's who he is.
Between him and I think Stephon Diggs before the game, Jair, that's who he is. And when you're a good corner like he is, you're gonna have to talk some shit, and then you're gonna eat it, but then you're gonna you can get it back. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I always feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just like I just feel like that's that position where you do a lot.
I mean, and if that's who you are and that's part of your game, do you, bro? You know what I'm saying? If you can back it up with your play, talk all the shit you want, bro. It's all good, because not for nothing. Again, we talked about it. Like Houston had no answer for you guys' pass rush. You know what I'm saying? Their offensive line could not pass protect for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, they were able to run the ball a bit, but they couldn't protect their quarterback. And you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, that score is definitely misleading, because you guys dominated that game for the most part.
Yeah, and Jordan Love, like I said, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 12 for 76. Did catch a touchdown pass that broke the longest start of career.
Yeah.
Most top passes without fucking scoring a touchdown. He finally gets in. Tucker Kraft had a hell of a catch for a touchdown. Tavion Wicks had 3 for 48 a touchdown. So Romeo Doubs, 8 for 94. So it seems
they scored Dobbs and Tucker Kraft scored a bunch of points for me on my bench, my fantasy league. Yeah. Good job, Johnny Cruz, GM.
All bad for the Cruz house in fantasy and regular football. Speaking of bad, again, the Browns, and it looks like Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles. He will be out for the year. I hate to say it, but Browns fans probably rejoice. Like, it is what it is. But Bengals win 21-14 to get to 3-4, and the Browns fall to 1-6 in a game that the Bengals still have to win. Next week they can get to 500, and you'll be okay at the halfway mark. But they still got to find ways to win here, and they don't do it pretty. Like Joe Burrow, 15-25, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chase Brown, 15 for 44. T. Higgins, 4 for 82 and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, 5 for 55 and a touchdown. And then you get to the Browns. Dorian Thomas Robinson, it looks like he's going to be the starter going forward. They've kind of come out. I don't agree with that. I think, to me, Jameis Winston should be. Jameis was 5 for 11, 67 yards and a touchdown. Deshaun might have had his best game of the season before he got hurt. I feel like this year too, 15-17, 128 yards. Like that's been his best stat line all year. Like Nick Chubb, welcome back, Nick Chubb, man, for after all the injuries, gets his first play of the season, 11 carries, 22 yards, and a touchdown. So your thoughts? I mean, David Njoku actually fucking went off today. 10 for 76 and a touchdown. The guy I was playing in fantasy traded for David Njoku about an hour before fucking.
Of course. I got to watch this. Again, I was watching Red Zone because there was no point in watching the Dolphins game by itself. So I saw some of that. I actually saw the play when he tore his Achilles. And you knew right away, you know what I'm saying, because he grabbed at the back of it. It was a non-contact. He grabbed the back of his heel. And then when they showed the replay, like you can see him when he's stepping back, like his calf kind of just kind of just jiggle, so you knew that
Yeah.
Achilles just snapped or whatever. So, I mean, I know Browns fans, like you mentioned, they might rejoice, and they were cheering in, when it happened, which that's, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I that's just, come on, man. That's just classless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The man got hurt. You know what I'm saying? You never want to see anybody get hurt. And like you were saying, he was actually having a good game. The defense was playing well against Joe Burrow.
Last year when he got hurt, I think it was his shoulder last year.
Yeah.
He was having his best game then, and he got hurt. That was against the Ravens, and there was like, well, man, he came on against the Ravens, and then like he came out and looked like shit. Now he puts up
Right.
Yeah,
so it was sad. You could see him crying on the car when they were carting him off the field. So again, you never want to see anybody get hurt. I understand the situation with him or whatever in Cleveland, but like, what are they thinking? I'm with you with the whole going with the young kid instead of going with Jameis. Like, I don't understand exactly what they're trying to do there. Their defense was playing well against Cincinnati, especially in that first half. Cincinnati did a good job in the second half of making some adjustments. Who would have thunk it that coaches could make adjustments in the second half of a football game, and they did what they had to do to put up enough points to win that game.
Yeah,
and this is the time when Cincinnati usually goes on a little bit of a roll. This is the time of year, so watch out for Cincinnati if they start getting hot.
It is. It might be dead man walking for Joe Shane, the Giants general manager. It'll make the rounds. It's already making the rounds. And if you watch Hard Knocks, remember when the owner came in and would say, "Man, I hate to lose Saquon. He's special. Hate to lose him. Definitely don't want to lose him to the Eagles. Like that would. I'd hate to see him come back here." And play.
I mean, he basically told Saquon where to go to like really hurt us.
Well, lo and behold, Saquon came back to New York today, and they didn't offer him the contract, and they never really did much. And well, Saquon decided, hey, I'm gonna have my best game in this uniform. 17 carries, 176 yards, 1 touchdown.
Look at that average, bro.
Yeah, 10. 10
point.
Yeah.
10.4 yards a rush, bro. That's a
he was averaging a first down every time he grabbed the ball. So but most Saquon right there, like that's the most rushing yards against a guy with his former team.
Yeah, that sounds about right now.
Our second, it was Garrison Hurst against the Niners or somebody, but he was second, so it was way back. But yeah, and then there was another stat I heard, and I can't remember what it was. It's like Daniel Jones is like 0-7 or 0-8 or something like that in his last home games, which is like the worst since like 1966. So,
God. The New York Giants make the Dolphins offense look like a juggernaut. So that's saying a lot. That's how bad.
At one point in time, so
I think that was just waving the white flag. They mentioned it on the broadcast. Is it waving the white flag, or is he just benching his quarterback? I think it was kind of both. You know what I'm saying? Like they could not do anything offensively. The Philly defensive line, Jalen Carter, again, they got him like in the teens. Like that defensive line for Philly is ridiculous. Jalen Carter is going to wind up being one of the best defensive tackles if he's not already one of them now in all of football. But he's an absolute beast in Philly, and props to Saquon. I couldn't be happier for the kid. He wanted to be a Giant. He wanted to stay there. They didn't want to pay him. And now he goes down the turnpike and he runs all over them. That's a
early nod for dog of the week for sure. For me.
I mean, I don't want to give it away, but yes, he's definitely dog worthy right there, boy.
Jalen Hurts, 10 of 14, 114 yards and a touchdown. I mentioned Saquon, AJ Brown, 5 for 89 and a touchdown. So AJ Brown, his second game back, he absolutely killed it. So. Not much from Devontae Smith. I know fantasy owners are not happy about that. We get Rams Raiders here. Rams hold on AOC, he broke his hand or thumb. And then they bring in Gardner Minshew, and Gardner reminded everybody probably why they benched him. 3 interceptions, 15 to 34, 154 yards. Alexander Madison, 23 for 92. Brock Bowers, 10 for 93. And then you look at the Rams, Stafford, 14 to 23, 154 yards, 1 interception. Kyron Williams ran all over, 21 to 76, 2 touchdowns. Rams get their second win of the season to get to 2-4. Raiders now fall 2-5. As there's talk of they want to draft the Sanders kid, and that's what it's probably looking like.
Yeah, it's going to complete shit in Vegas, but go ahead.
Tom Brady is now part owner, so he'll probably have a lot to say. I think hopefully being a new head coach and a new
they're probably going to clean house. Do
you think it's Bill Belichick time in Las Vegas?
Oh, I don't know that Tom will want to deal with that necessarily.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know that Bill Belichick would want to go into a situation where they're more than likely going to have a top pick to be able to get a quarterback. So I don't think he's going to want to deal with a rookie again. You know what I'm saying? If he was going into a situation with a more established quarterback, Bill Belichick is, I think, what he's going to be looking for if he continues to coach next year. I don't think he's going to want to deal with a rookie. And the way that relationship ended, went in the end, I don't think he's going to necessarily want Tom Brady to be his boss. You know what I'm saying? Or his owner, basically, even. Not even his boss, his owner. So I don't know about that. I just wish that the Rams would have, not taken that foot off of the gas so that they could have freaking covered. But it is what it is. It is what it is. The Rams with a fairly easy win there against the Raiders. The Raiders, you might as well go ahead and trade Max Crosby and get as much draft capital as possible so that you can get your quarterback and basically get a new start next year. And I was pulling for Pierce, Antonio Pierce. But that team is completely falling apart. They made the mistake of thinking that Gardner Minshew was the answer.
Yeah.
When there were other options out there.
Trade up for a quarterback, and it just never. Happened.
Right. But I mean, once you knew you couldn't trade up, then you could have gotten a better. Somebody better, especially when you have Devontae and you just drafted that the tight end, the Becker's kid that's going to be good. Brock Bowers, him. Yeah. He's going to be a good player. You decided not to pay Jacobs. So you had an opportunity to get a more veteran, established quarterback that was better than Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is a career backup, bro. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, the Raiders might as well, again, Crosby wants out anyway. Just go ahead and start, getting rid of those pieces. Again, get as much draft capital as possible. So that way you got, you can kind of restock next year and just rebuild it.
Yeah. Speaking of rebuilding it, that'll be the Panthers. They go to the Commanders, lose 40-7. They didn't score 7 until the fourth quarter. Andy Dalton, 11-16, 93 yards, 2 interceptions. Chuba Hubbard, 17 for 52 and a touchdown. So, not much in the receiving game from anybody here. And then you get to the Commanders. Jaden Daniels hurt rib early in this game. Mariota came in, played nice, 18-23, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brian Robinson Jr., 12 for 71 and a touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 6 for 98, and Zach Ertz, 4 for 40 and a touchdown as Commanders roll easily. More importantly, though, it's ribs for Jaden Daniels. You hope he can come back next week with him and Caleb Williams going against each other.
Yeah, and that's a perfect situation there. Washington, obviously was rebuilding, drafted a quarterback, made the right decision on their quarterback choice. That kid is going to be a player. Ribs is a touchy one with quarterbacks because the actual throwing motion and all that, he's going to feel all of that. Plus any kind of a hit that he takes could risk them getting worse. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if he misses a week or two, unless there's not a fracture. If it's just bruised ribs, then I'm going to say he's probably going to play or try to play because then it's just
bruised ribs. I think it's bruised ribs.
Yeah, if it's bruised, then it's just pain management thing. Can he deal with the pain? You know what I'm saying?
And
If he's got a
I think he could have came back today, but by the time he came back, the game was kind of
they didn't need him. They didn't need him against Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, me and you could have quarterbacked that game. And the props to Mariota. There goes another quarterback who was available for a backup spot this year. But no, anyway, I don't want to talk about the freaking Dolphins anymore. But props to Mariota for doing it. I like what Washington is building there. Again, I was a little, you know what I'm saying, iffy on Dan Quinn, but props to him. He, you know what I'm saying, he's doing his thing there in Washington, and again, they got the good young quarterback, so hopefully he can come back from this injury this week, and that's gonna be an interesting game against Caleb Williams next week because Caleb is starting to turn it around and get a little better too. So
coming off the bye too.
Yep.
So we'll get into the last game here. Is the rematch of the Super Bowl. Chiefs. This game wasn't as entertaining or as good close as the Super Bowl. Chiefs went 28-18. Patrick Mahomes, 2 interceptions. He's got more interceptions than he does touchdowns so far this season. Only 154 yards. Kareem Hunt, 22 of 78, 2 touchdowns. Mahomes did rush for a touchdown. Miko rushed for a touchdown. Noah Gray, 4 for 66. The Chiefs just don't have a whole – with Rice out and everybody just kind of banged up. They're still trying to figure this out. Brock Purdy, 17 for 31, 212 yards, 3 interceptions. The Chiefs defense was all over them. Jordan Mason, 14 for 58. George Kittle, 6 for 92. Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL. Debo got hurt in this game as well. 49ers, I told you, the 49ers are this morning. They're not that good, man.
Yeah.
They called a 3-0, and I said it off the top. Chiefs don't play great. It's just they find good teams find a ways to win. Let me ask you this: you know who the MVP of the league is right now, Johnny? Christian McCaffrey, and he hasn't played a snap because with him, the 49ers are one of the best teams in the league. Hence why they made it to the Super Bowl last year, and now they're 3-4 and look like dog shit.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting comment there. I'm with you. I mean, it shows the importance of what a great offensive player can do for your team, especially in that position with how much he does, not only just rushing the ball, but his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. But you mentioned the injuries that are going on in San Francisco right now. In Kansas City, no. I mean, but again, we talked about Patrick Mahomes with that whole thing. He just needs to get into the damn tournament. They don't care about the regular season, but they're still winning games. Yeah. But I do want to mention that defense is legit. Chris Jones is one of the best defensive linemen in football, not only against the run, but obviously putting pressure on the quarterback.
DC's like in football.
Oh, absolutely, bro. He's gonna go down as one of the greatest ones ever, probably, with what he did here and in New York.
And that's a guy who failed as in kudos to Spags. It's a guy who failed as a head coach. Realized he doesn't want to do it. You know what I can do? I can just be a great defensive coordinator and win a bunch of Super Bowls.
Right, absolutely, and there ain't shit wrong with that. Props to him. You know what I'm saying? He's got a handful of Super Bowl rings already. So, you know what I'm saying? And he's got a good situation in Kansas City. You got a great head coach, you know what I'm saying, above you. You got a great quarterback. You got, you know what I'm saying, you got the pieces on the defensive side. So props to Spag. I do want to mention that play where Patrick Mahomes duked like he was going to go out of bounds. The reason that he was able to do some shit like that is because he always plays it close to the sideline, and then if you touch him, he acts like he got shot and throws himself out of bounds. But that's some bullshit, though. Like if I'm a defensive player and he's on that sideline right there, I'm knocking him the fuck out. I'll take the 15-yard penalty, but I'm gonna let him know, you're not gonna fake us like that with that bullshit. Either get the fuck out of bounds or don't. You know what I'm saying? But to act like you're going to go out of bounds and take advantage of the fact that you're going to get a flag if they touch you and then you cut it back in, like that's just taking advantage of the position that you're in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want him to get hurt, but I would not be mad if somebody just just put a nice hit on him to let him know, bro, you need to stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just, to me, that just seems like that's a little bush league right there. Like, again, you know that they're not going to hit you when you're going out of bounds, so you took advantage of that and kind of used like he would go out of bounds and then went upfield. You know what I'm saying? So that was just a little. You don't need to be like that, Patrick. You know what I'm saying? You're good enough already. You don't need to be doing bullshit like that. So that was just it kind of irked me when I saw that play, because it was like, because had he got lit up, there would have been flags, even though he was obviously still in play. But
Yeah.
if somebody would have hit him, he would have got a flag. You know what I'm saying? So don't be careful, bro. You know what I'm saying? You playing with fire right there doing that shit. But yeah, like you said, good teams find ways to win. And they're undefeated. I made the comment when the Raiders had that Kermit doll, were making fun of Patrick Mahomes. Like my man don't need no motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave him alone. Don't give him none, bro. He's already the best quarterback in the league right now. Like, just let it. You know what I'm saying? Just let it go. Don't mess with him. But the shit is that he finds ways. They find ways to win games, bro. So
Yeah.
If they get that number 1 seed, which it looks like they are, unless Baltimore or Buffalo, and it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about going on the road either. It's gonna come down to.
They did that last year.
Yeah. It's gonna come down to who can actually put up enough points against that defense to compete with them. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Yeah.
So.
And the 49ers, man, like, they've just not looked like the 49ers all season. And now they're getting riddled with injuries again, with Ayuk out. Who knows when CMC's going to come back? So, man.
And not for nothing, but Brandon Ayuk is a perfect example of why these guys want to get paid when they want to get paid. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't, fight for that contract and he goes and plays on the last year of his deal, right now he's shit out of luck going into free agency, coming off an ACL tear. So that's why I never hate on a player trying to get paid. I'm glad he gets paid. Hopefully he comes back, good whenever he gets back. But yeah, San Francisco might be in some trouble, man, especially with the Detroits and Green Bays and those other teams in the NFC that are playing really well and built a lot better than San Francisco seems to be built right now with the injuries that San Francisco has.
The thing that's saving them is their division is pretty.
Yeah, it's garbage.
I was looking at it. So
Seattle might be able to, but do you trust Seattle to take it from San Francisco? I mean, possibly, but I don't know.
Yeah, every other team in that division is below 500. I mean,
right.
So 49ers are 3-4. Arizona and the Rams both have 2 wins. So
yeah. So
I mean, we'll see. Johnny, let's go ahead and give out our turds of NFL Week 6. All
right. Well, if I haven't given you enough clues or little pebbles of shit breadcrumbs leading up to my turd, it's Mike McDaniel. I want to say the whole entire Miami Dolphins organization, but it doesn't matter. It is what it is. Chris Greer has let this organization down with what he's done in the draft. Their decisions to not invest in the offensive line when you have a fragile quarterback is fireable, to be quite honest. And the fact that Mike McDaniel, this quote unquote genius offensive mind, cannot make, any type of short yardage running plays except for a fullback dive. He can't make adjustments in game. It's a total disappointment what's going on with Miami. You lose your quarterback, which we've talked about. Hey, if you lose your quarterback, it's hard for most teams or whatever. But there's been a lot of examples of good coaches finding ways to build the game plan around their backup quarterbacks, and we haven't been able to do that at all. And again, it falls on Mike McDaniel not being able to coach them up and get them prepared. But it also is the front office making the decisions of not getting a true backup quarterback when you have a quarterback who's injury prone. So the entire Miami Dolphins organization are a bunch of turds, but the biggest turd is Mike McDaniel. So he is my turd of the week.
Yeah, my turd of the week is none other than the Houston Texans quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and that offensive line. When you don't pass for over 100 yards in today's day and game, that's on you. And CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans O-line absolutely stunk up the joint today. They are my NFL Week 7 turd of the week.
Definitely deserving. I give you that. A comment was made in our text thread about him being overrated. I think that's unfair. You know what I'm saying? The Green Bay defense had a great game plan for them, especially against the pass. So I give Green Bay more credit, but they definitely did play like crap today. So they definitely are deserving of turd of the week. But I would not say CJ Stroud is overrated. He's a good young quarterback, and I expect them to bounce back next week.
Yeah. Who is your dog of the week?
My dog, I'm gonna go ahead and go up to Philly and give it to my man Saquon Barkley. He is well deserving of it. Again, we mentioned it: 7 carries, 176 yards, 10.6 yards per touch. That means he got a first down every time he touched the ball. Average. That's insane. You know, say had a couple of catches as well, but there's nothing better than getting revenge on a team that, you know what I'm saying, that clearly didn't want you. You know what I'm saying? And even though you really wanted to be there, you know, say Saquon really wanted to finish his career as a Giant, even took a discount last year on a 1-year deal, and you still don't find a way to lock up your best offensive weapon. So props to him going to Philly and putting on a terrific performance in MetLife in front of the Giants fans. So Saquon Barkley is my dog of the week.
Yeah, you literally took the dog, and I was going to pick, and that's the dog I'm sticking with. It's none other than Saquon Barkley. You know, anytime you can stick it to your ex, your former boss, and you say, hey, motherfuckers, hey, I got to kill it. Saquon Barkley absolutely crushed it. 17 carries, 176 yards, and a touchdown. Like you said, the 10.4 average, my man averaged a first down every time he ran the damn ball. Saquon Barkley made it a mission, and kudos to the Eagles for making sure he got it done. Saquon Barkley, NFL Week 7, dog of the week.
And not for nothing, when you put a performance up like that, you're worthy of both of us giving you the dog of the week. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't happen often, but Saquon is definitely deserving of that this week. And again, the extra oomph that you did it to your former team. So good for you, Saquon. And like you said, good for Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles for making sure they gave Saquon plenty of touches so that he can go off on that team.
Yeah. Johnny, you got anything before we get out of here?
Nah, man, just hope. I don't know what the score is right now in the WNBA finals between the Liberty and the Lynx. So I'm going to check that out in a second. I may take a peek at the Jets in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 7-3 right now, Jets.
Yeah, but check out the Dolphin Chronicles on the Kendall Sports Network tomorrow night at 7:30 while me, Byron, and Alex bitch and moan some more about the pathetic Miami Dolphins and what we think we might need to do going forward, whether or not they need to clean house or what. But come listen to us bitch and moan about the Dolphins a little bit more. But we'll have some entertaining shit to talk about, as we tear them apart. But man, just another fun day. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time this morning on the weekend dump. So if you haven't seen that, people definitely check out our weekend dump from this morning. It was a fun show this morning, and it was good recapping the games. Again, it's unfortunate that the Dolphins put a sour taste in my mouth, ruined my sports weekend after it started out so good.
The Yankees are going to the World Series.
I know. I'll be all right once I go to bed and I wake up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I mean, and the sucky part is that, like it, obviously I care that much. You know what I'm saying? That freaking game could completely ruin my mental state for the day. You know what I'm saying? I was in such a good mood, all night last night and all morning. And then the Dolphins looking like, and it's not like it was a hard fought game and they lost last second. No, they just fucking suck. And they look like shit. So it was just, disheartening. So, but I'll be all right. I'll get over it. Hopefully the Liberty win their first WNBA championship, and You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sleep good. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. It's gonna be a great week. So looking forward to this good week, and hopefully everybody out there has a great week as well. And we'll be back next Sunday to do this all again.
All right, yeah. Johnny said it. We'll be back 8:00 Central or 7 Central, 8 Eastern next Sunday for halfway through next week. We'll be halfway through the NFL season.
Wow, already, bro.
Man, I know. Wild to think that. Other than that, we'll be back. Also make sure you do check out the morning dump. We put that out 7:00 to Central, 8 Eastern in the morning in the AM time. So 8 Central, 9 Eastern, whatever. Just click the link. Smash. Be a friend, tell a friend. See y'all.
Peace.